Adrian, just first of all, just let's go through a quick injury roundup. Who's available, who's not available for this weekend's trip to Wakefield? We'll start with Jack Hughes, obviously. How's he? Is it a bad one as first expected?
Yeah, we've got a few out. We've only got a small squad, as most know, but I think we're certainly pushing the boundaries of that at the moment. But Jack Hughes has torn his calf, like a grade 2-3, so that's going to be sort of long-termish. So we're looking at 4 to 6 weeks plus with that. So that's not good news for the club, and not good news for Jack. But he's missed a fair few games this year as well. So it's it's frustrating for him and for us, but we've just got to get on with it. So if there is any good news, it's the fact that Gaz O'Brien's back from missing the last game through a failed HIA, so we've certainly missed him over the last couple of weeks. But on top of that, Ben Nakabua is also still in doubt with that with a medial ligament strain of his knee, which he could be up to 4 weeks as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, how's Ben recovering with that? Because obviously it was named in the initial squad last week, but obviously didn't feature, and I think it was the Wigan game where he actually picked up that injury. You said back then he'd be out for around a month. Are we still looking at a month for
Yeah, it's still the case. Obviously very frustrated with the tackle action that forced that. I think they're looking at that at the NRL at the moment quite heavily, but that similar action's going to make him miss between, including last week, but between 4 to 6 weeks. So, he is up and moving this week, and it's positive news that that's the case. But he's still going to be out for a couple of weeks, and we've just got to get on with it at the moment. But in saying that, it gives other players an opportunity to get a start and potentially fill that role.
Yeah, just reflecting back on last week's game against Salford, what do you make of it now with a little bit more deeper thought?
Yeah, really frustrated. We did some really good stuff at times. Second half at times were really good. We moved the ball nicely. I was frustrated at the fact that when we had the chance in a position to post points, we erred early on in the tackle count. It was a similar mistake than what we played the first time in round 1 against them. So we've only got ourselves to blame, and but having said that, we can fix it ourselves as well, and that's the challenge this week. We've done certain things really, really well over the first 8 rounds in patches, but not collectively as an 80-minute performance. So the challenge this week is to put an 80 minutes performance together and go up there to a difficult ground to play at and play well. So, there's a fair bit of I've asked the group to respond from that last week, and I'm sure they will.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to ask you about the attack as well. Obviously, there must be plenty of positives to take, and you mentioned there about the execution being the bit that kind of lets you down at certain moments in games. But you must also take plenty of positives out of that because you're getting in those positions to score. Obviously, the halfbacks, the likes of Leigh Leopards and then John Asiata at 13 as well. They're all linking up well. But it's just those little intricate moments that you just need to touch up again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm reasonably happy where we're at. As a new group, again, a lot of new faces in the team. It takes time. I'm thinking it's going to take half a season to get that right. But what I am confident of is that if we can hold the ball and build pressure through not making dumb, silly mistakes at crucial times, I'm confident that we can score points. We created 4 or 5 opportunities down our right-hand side, but just didn't have the skill to nail it at the time, which is the frustrating part. So, we're working hard on fixing that, but I know that, like I said, if we get in a position to score points, I'm confident we can and we will.
And the good thing about having Gaz O'Brien back this week, he just adds that little versatility option, doesn't he? Whether you can play him at half, or if you have an injury, you can put him in at fullback and then the halves, vice versa. So his utility value comes in handy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But he's also, I think he's up the top couple of players in the try assists for us this year, which is important when you're looking at scoring points. So that'll push Zach back to centre if Gaz, he's still got to pass that test on Friday. If he gets past that test on Friday, that'll probably push Zach back to centre, where I think it's Zach's best position too, and the best position for our team moving forward. So, that tightens all of that up, and excited that the challenge is to go up to Wakefield there, who will certainly play like it's a final.
Yeah, just on Wakefield, obviously they're yet to win a game this season. So obviously Leigh are the bookies' favourites heading into Sunday's game. What do you make of Trinity overall so far this year?
Yeah, I know that they're doing their best at times, and they're playing quite open style of rugby at the moment to try and get some confidence off the back of that. And you know, I know as a club that this will be a game that they'll want to win and think they can win. So it'll be a massive finals sort of feeling towards the start of the game. And you know, they've been unlucky on a couple of occasions. I felt, you know, they probably should have won the other week at, where was it, Saints or Warrington, wherever it was, and you know, they were close there. But I think off the back of that, Salford, off the back of that, you know, they've got some great individuals still in that team. When you look through their lineup, there's some good players there. So I'm sure it won't take long before they click.
Yeah, how important is it because Leigh will be heavy favourites heading into the game. How important is it for your guys maybe not to take them for granted and to go full throttle heading into the game?
Yeah, I know that they'll be prepared and fired up to play well and to win their first game up there. But for us, it's about responding from last week's performance. I was really disappointed after the game and really, you know, got angry in the dressing room and was quite direct and personal. So, you know, I felt that we took a step backwards last week as a team. You know, every week, even though we've lost a couple along the way, I've seen improvement in us, which is all we can do every week until we get to that point where we're an 80-minute team. But last week, I thought we took a step back. So there's a lot for us to improve on as well. There's a lot for us to work on. There's a lot for us to aim for. So as much as this is a big game for Wakefield, it's also a big game for us to be able to respond from last week's performance.
Yeah, just a last one from me. How good has Josh Chandler been in 2023? I mean, he's not just near the top of the try scoring charts, he's up there for meters,
yeah.
Post meters, contacts, etc.
Yeah, Josh has been outstanding for us. Like I said, you know, he's given himself a real good chance throughout the pre-season. He's probably one of our best or two best trainers that we had here at the club, and he was totally professional, gave himself every opportunity to do what he's doing at the moment. And it's not by luck that he's in this situation. We've had numerous conversations about it, but you know, there's a test match coming up in a couple of weeks as well, which I feel that he's in a good position to be able to be considered for that. So, you know, hopefully rewards come off the back of what he's done so far. But I still think he's got another level or two to go. So, you know, it'd be nice to see him again score a couple of tries this weekend.
All the best for Sunday.
Thanks, mate.
I'll pass you on, mate. Thanks for that.
Appreciate it, Drew.
Hi, Adrian. How you doing?
Callum, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Just on the Ben Appleby tackle, was it a hip drop?
Yeah, I don't know what the exact terminology is for it at the moment, because there's been a few similar ninja hip and swing and drop and all sorts of stuff going on there. But it was one of those, yeah. Yep.
Is it a kind of modern phenomenon, or is it something that you think the game's just cracking down on?
It's something the game's cracking down on, but it probably needs to as well. You know, when you look at the actions, most of the time they're accidental, but I feel that if you put yourself in that position to do that, well, the player's going to get injured. So it's something that we need to have a closer look at. I know we're looking at it closely, but you know, whether it's intentional or accidental is what we need to decide on moving forward as a sport. So I'm sure they'll work that out.
And then you talked about having, you know, a small squad. Are you still looking to, you know, bring people in if they're the right person?
Absolutely. Looking every day, every week. It's something that we'll continue to do over the next year or 2 years to build a squad. So we understand where we're at currently, and you know, we're always striving to be better in all areas. And if that means adding to the group, we will.